Live. This is the first video of the year. What's good? I hope everybody had a happy new year and a happy holiday. I hope everybody wrapped up their 2022 the right way. I hope everybody is in a great mindset for this long haul for this year. It's going to be an up and down year, but I'm going to help you to stay level headed because you are at the right place at the right time. This is Coin Gang Ministries. My name is Ken Billions. What it do? If you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, go ahead and press 2. If you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, go ahead and press 2. And if everything is good on your end, you already know what it is. What's good? What's good? Salute to the family. Salute to the family. This is the first video of the year, y'all. Getting my feet under me. Hopefully all is well with y'all. Hopefully you ended the year on the right way with a bang. And hopefully you coming into the new year in the right mindset, right? Because we're going to fly, right? This is Coin Gang, the number one home for personal development. This is the place where you come in ordinary and you leave extraordinary. You come in one way and you leave another way. This is ministry for the abstract mind. And this is a safe space for everybody out there with an out-the-box philosophy. I want y'all to know when you chilling with the fam, when you just lay back, if you're ever looking for personal development, you know where to go. If you ever get tired of the gossip, if you ever get tired of that wah, 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 you already know. You could come to Ken Billion's channel and you're going to get personal development all day, all year. And we're going to start off cooking the right way. Salute to my first super chat of the year, the homegirl that's always been rocking with me, always supporting me. I love you. Appreciate you, sis. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. And you already know when I see that just put me in the spirit to talk my shit. I appreciate you. Like I said, you at the right place at the right time. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. You already know my spiel. If you got babies, keep them close. And if you got somebody that's loving on you, please let them. Ain't nothing changed from last year. You already know my spiel. I want to let y'all know that Sunday, got the date for sure. Everybody that is a member on YouTube, Facebook, or kenbillions.com, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will pick up where we left off with our series on how to body bag builds. That's only for my members. I got some great info for you. We haven't did it in a few months, but that's for my members. And that is 11 Eastern Standard Time, Sunday night. That is a for sure. Be on the lookout for that link. We will pick up where we left off. Salute to you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Shout out to Shy. I appreciate you, love. You understand the assignment. So for all my members, 11 o'clock Sunday night, be on the lookout for the links. All right. And we will pick up where we left off for how to body bag builds. All right. And for those people that have been asking me, it will be coming in the next week. I will be starting a book club for those that have been asking me. And my book of the day is... it's called The Occult Technology of Power. The Occult Technology of Power. You really want something to make your head spin? You really want to see how the world works? This is my book of the day, right? The Occult Technology of Power. I will be starting the Ken Billions Book Club this year. So also be on the lookout for that. I have people in different places from YouTube to Facebook. I just need to know how to allow everybody to get integrated with that. So I'm working on that as we speak. And my book of the day is The Occult Technology of Power. If you're on YouTube and if you want to cop this, the link is in the description. This is my book of the day. This is how it looks. The Occult Technology of Power. And we will be starting the book club in the next week and a half, 2 weeks tops. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Without further ado, Today, we're going to talk about the de-evolution of the mind. The de-evolution of the mind. We're going to talk about talking points, stats, and data. Wah, wah. We're going to talk about the psychology of pleasure and the oppression of choice. Our topic today is the 2020 recap, the podcast of the permanent underclass. You ready? All the passport bros, all the masculinity and the femininity. Wah, wah. The podcast of the permanent underclass. Question: if your skin looks like this, I thought there was a wealth gap, right? I thought that we was behind an economic 8 ball. But when we do the 2020 recap, why wasn't y'all talking about no money? Y'all talked about a lot of stats, not financial stats. Y'all was talking about body count. Y'all was talking about who get the big piece of chicken, right? But I thought the issue was money. But on your podcast, I don't hear you talking about no money. I don't hear you talking about no infrastructure. I hear you talking about games and play. That's why today's conversation is the podcast of the permanent underclass, right? So, the term underclass was used by a gentleman named Charles Murray in 1984 to describe a permanent or persistent poverty population whose lower income status passes from one generation to the next generation based off intrinsic dysfunctional behavior. You got that? A permanent underclass is passed from one generation to the next by intrinsic dysfunctional behavior. Now, when we do the 2020 recap on the podcast, right? When we do the 2022 recap and we just sit and listen, what were the topics? Body count, marriage, right? Not successfully married people talking. No, 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 no. Just say who doesn't want marriage and blah blah blah, right? Marriage. What else? Body counts. What else? Stats. Data about what though? Right? About what? Consistently single mom this, single mom that, man this, man that. Did anybody listening to this shit walk away with a skill? No. Was the conversation about technology? No. What did everybody talk about? What happened in the 30s? What happened in the 40s? Oh, welfare took the man out the home. Nobody had a conversation about 2050. Nobody had a conversation about Generation Alpha, right? Nobody had a conversation about trust, right? Very few podcasts talked about things like that. Trust, wills, advanced directives, life insurance, annuities. What was the conversation about? Relationships, right? The podcast of the permanent underclass, right? Now, remember, the way that the permanent underclass works, it's intrinsic behaviors that are dysfunctional passed from one generation to the next. Y'all will blame the government. The government didn't tell you to have them conversations. Y'all will blame this mythical white man. He didn't tell you to have them conversations. You chose to. You choose to have cable. You understand that, right? You choose to do what you're doing, right? Or are you not accountable for your own behavior, right? The white man or the government did not tell you to have those podcast conversations. You had those podcast conversations because you wanted to, right? So just to rehash, what was it about? Body counts. It was about running up on the street, putting a mic in somebody's face, asking stupid questions. It was about the passport bros. It was about going 50-50. It was about soft life. Y'all didn't even talk about children. You talked about having babies. You didn't talk about the state of the babies. You didn't talk about your elders and what you're going to do with them as they age. You didn't talk about infrastructure. You didn't talk about politics. You didn't talk about attending city councils. You didn't talk about nothing but relationships. Because in this culture, the highest creative thought that many of you have is getting married, and it doesn't go further than that. Podcast of the permanent underclass. Now, the great Dr. Bruce Lipton says your perception, excuse me, your perception of any given thing at any given moment can influence the brain chemistry, which in turn affects the environment where your cells reside and controls their fate. Okay? Your perception of any given thing at any given moment can influence the brain chemistry, which in turn affects the environment where your cells reside and it controls their fate. What does that mean? We all heard this many times, but what you focus on becomes your reality, right? What did we see or hear people say all 2020 in those podcast space? Well, you don't see Asian people talk like this. Well, you don't see Mexican people talk like this. How would you see other people doing certain things when your attention has created your reality? You don't know any other conversations happening. Didn't you hear that all 2022? People say you don't see other groups of people doing XYZ. How would you? How would you? Let's go back to the good doctor. Your perception of any given thing at any given moment can influence your brain chemistry. Question. What influence to your brain chemistry did all the relationship talk do? You don't know that an algorithm just does not exist online. When you are watching what you're watching on social media, on TikTok, in these spaces, you're also creating an algorithm in real life. Okay? So, if you are focused on back and forth drama, panels online, that becomes your real life reality. Okay? Your algorithm is just not on the phone. Your algorithm also exists outside in real time. There is no separation from the internet world and the real world. It is the same. They are blended. It is one thing. So it's just not social media. That's your life. What you see on social media is what you see in real time. You don't see yourself, you don't notice when you're having a conversation with someone on the phone, and if you mention a product, doesn't it show up on your timeline? Your YouTube recommends videos to you that it thinks that you like. So how would you know any other conversation going on? And what has happened is, remember, the permanent underclass is intrinsic dysfunctional behaviors that is passed from generation to generation. And the way that you're configuring your algorithm, you are not, or you are filtering your world to where you will never see anything else but the bullshit. Notice nobody can have another conversation. It's the same loop over and over and over and over again. And you are caught in the loop. These podcasts are entertainment for those that are going to be in the permanent underclass. Now, let me help you understand this. The way that the permanent underclass is going to be structured in the future is going to be structured based on robots. Take it or leave it. There will be no upward mobility. Once this thing is set, the babies that you have will not make it out. Okay? You ever seen those dystopian movies where just the world is in chaos, right? And it just seemed like there's a big separation between those that have and those that have not. That's the world you're gonna live in, right? And you're gonna put your own self there because y'all choose to keep having this same convo. Relationships, who's more married than who. You are purposely turning your damn brain off, right? And you're going to pay for that. Okay? Life is about management of energy. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Life is about management of energy. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy, right? 2022, didn't you hear everybody say, you don't see other people talk like this? Women in other cultures don't go through this. Men in other cultures don't go through this. Now, when I was listening for R&D purposes because I wanted to understand the psychology of the permanent underclass podcast. I wanted to understand the attraction. I wanted to understand the talking points. I wanted to understand why people were so driven to it. And now I got it, right? And now I understand. Okay? I get it. I understand it firmly, right? Now, what did you not see them talk about? 30 technologies of the next decade. Do you see what's on here? 3D printing, automation, big data, voice assistants, geospatial tech, proximity tech. What's proximity tech? Beacons, RFID, Wi-Fi, near field communications and geofencing, wireless power, health tech. Did any of this happen with the podcast bros and sisters? No, it didn't. Because if they did, the viewership would go down. What does that tell you? That the permanent underclass, what makes them is something inside of them. I don't want to hear nothing about the wealth gap. right? I don't want to hear nothing about the system. The dysfunction is inside of the people. That when you start having a different conversation, it's too boring. It has to be drama. It has to be gossip. Someone has to be exposed. That's the only way that can keep someone's attention. It has to be entertaining because the permanent underclass's religion is entertainment. That's why the only news that goes on in the permanent underclass is rapper news. It's Gabrielle Union news. It's Glorilla news. It's not corporate mergers, right? It's not inflation. It's not the supply chain. It's entertainment. Why does every platform have to cover entertainment to keep up their viewership? My most viewed video last year on YouTube was talking about Will Smith. My most viewed video on Facebook is talking about what a white woman said about black women. My other most viewed video on Facebook is a Asian woman talking about the passport bros. How is that possible when I recommend books like The Occult Technology of Power? How is that my most viewed shit? So you know what I figured out? When I'm on Facebook, y'all don't want no message. I'm going to run a bag up on you. I'm going to save my other content for when I'm on YouTube. But when I'm on Facebook, I'm doing nothing but fuckery. You know why? Because it's monetized and that's all y'all want to see. You think I'm not going to eat? Oh, no, no, no. That's what y'all want to see. Mind you, what was the book of the day? The Occult Technology of Power. This is what I'm reading on my free time, right? But my most viewed video on YouTube is talking about Will Smith. What does that say about the people? Don't talk to me about no white man. Don't talk to me about slavery. Don't talk to me about racism when your oppression right now is your own choice. Your oppression is your choice. Why do you have cable? You want to be entertained. Why do you watch the stuff that you watch? You want to be entertained. Because entertainment in the permanent underclass is the religions. Your granny's religion was Christianity, and the people were Noah, Paul, Jonah, Moses. Your religion is entertainment, and the people are Kim Kardashian, Kanye, Master P, Romeo. You see? Because the permanent underclass, what makes them an underclass is intrinsic dysfunctional behavior. If I would have titled the video Tory Lanez Meg the Stallion, views go up. Why? Why? Because at this point, it is hard for the people to sit and listen to anything that is not drama based. Life is about management of energy. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So the permanent underclass has their energy on drama and gossip. So if you're not on that, it doesn't do anything. You always have to dance. You have to sing. You have to at somebody. You have to drag somebody. You got to talk about somebody's business. But I thought y'all had a wealth gap. So let me get this straight. You want the government to give you reparations, but in the meantime, you ain't gonna read, you ain't gonna study, right? You gonna go to church on Sundays as long as the pastor gives you affirmations. The moment that he gives you that old school message of fire and brimstone, you gonna leave. The moment the pastor gives you a dress code, you gonna leave. The moment that the pastor focuses on the behavior of his congregation about who's sleeping with who doing this, you gonna leave. And you gonna say, how dare him. If the pastor doesn't give you affirmations, you ain't going. If the pastor doesn't tell you you got haters, you ain't going. If your pastor suddenly becomes Republican, you ain't going. But you want reparations, though. Let me slide that back for you so you can take a hard look in the mirror, because your children are Generation Alpha. Those are the babies born from 2010 to 2024. Their children, which are going to be your grandchildren, they are called Generation Beta. So you are producing the underclass with the children that you having. I just learned a term called epi-eugenics. And with epi-eugenics is the system wants you to have children. But your children, based on epi-eugenics, are going to be made up a certain kind of way. It's going to be in the blood based off you. Your ability to not critically think, your ability to not have effective listening. You know how y'all have communications? Yes, y'all. I'll say something. And you know what you'll say back to me? So are you saying? I will say, I love the color blue. And you'll say, so are you saying you don't like red? You don't understand the gap in that, right? You don't understand the gap in that. If a person says what you don't like, you'll talk about their looks. What that got to do with anything, right? If for you to receive a message, you have to like how the person looks. For you to receive truth, it has to be said to you a certain way. Because if you don't like the tone of the correction, then you will go after the messenger because you don't like the tone. I don't like how you said that, but it's the truth. So your truth has to be delivered in a way for you to be comfortable. Shout out to you, Nomad. I heard you say one time on Tough Talk that the conscious community has all the information, but they don't believe in nothing. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. The conscious community is masters of the past. They know how to build pyramids, right? They know all that. Ask them what search engine optimization is, right? Umar will police you and tell you you ain't pro-black if you don't marry a certain type of way, but he will not show you a marriage receipt from himself, right? That's permanent underclass. Motivation, nostalgia, right? That's the permanent underclass, right? You get views from it because it's at. The system, and the system this. It feels good. That's why I still get views. The permanent underclass is about entertainment. Even the conscious shit is entertainment, right? Don't y'all know that all the woke people got blue checks? How is the woke people on the Breakfast Club? How is the woke people on Revolt TV? How is the woke people on Earn Your Leisure? Now, these is your woke people. They celebrities, right? Your woke people have took the oath too. Don't get it twisted. How does your woke, your conscious people got the same blue check as the Hollywood people you say you don't like? But the woke people are mingling with them, running a bag up on you, right? But all they got to do is mention black one time. Speak, brother. Teach. Speak. Speak, brother. Because deep down inside, y'all still got religion in you and you looking for more pastors. You looking for more pastors. You looking more deacons, right? You ain't really left the church. You don't say God no more. You just say the universe. It's still the same thing. You looking for the next Malcolm, the next Martin. You looking for the next pastor and the next preacher and the next deacon that can massage you into being the permanent underclass, to make you live in suspended belief, to make you feel like what your eyes are seeing ain't real, right? Like you don't see the money being digitized, right? Like you don't see automation happening, right? Like you don't see Boston Dynamics with their robotics. Like you don't see robot dogs doing police work, but all they got to do is say black. And you think this forgotten people, this docile people is one day gonna rise. Yeah, it's over. It happened already. They got you out of season. They got you always stuck in the past. But question, do you got a website in your government name? All the people that come to my page and piss me off, what if I just go take revenge on you and go buy your domain name in your government? You talking crazy to me? Then one day, what happens when you want to start your business? Or what happens when your job, that's the way that you get paid, right? What if I go buy your domain name in your government and you can't use it? You talking shit, right? Hmm? Femininity, masculinity. How do you apply that outside? Hmm? How do you apply that? Do you know when we're riding on planes, they're damn near flying themselves? Appreciate you, fam. Shout out to Howabon. I hope I say your name right. Thank you for unflinching dedication. Oh, nah, for sure. For sure. And anybody knows me, go back 3 years. I've been talking the same way. This ain't new, right? It's funny. When I go check my channel analytics, the majority of people that watch my channel are not subscribed. The blue check people I'm talking about come to my channel and take my shit, right? And repackage it. Cause that's what you could do, right? Cause they ain't talking about nothing in the future. Nothing. Nothing. They are masters of the past, and they are masters of keeping you in the past, keeping you stuck on dumb shit. They talking about Pisces shit. They talking about the black community. What is an algorithm, yo? And how does it work? How does an algorithm work? right? How can you biohack yourself? All this trauma, all this genetics, right? How you biohack that with using your thought? How you heal yourself using your thought, right? Hmm? None of that combo. Marriage, body count, relationship stats from Tinder. 1 in 3 men are alone. Women are delusional. Their dating standards. What? You see this list? Everybody screenshot this so you can blow it up on your own. Nanotechnology. Somebody kids got to design that. Somebody kids got to make that. The Internet of Things, wearing technology. What? What are we talking about? The reason why the podcast topics never change is because they can't. It can't change, y'all, because the permanent underclass, after a while, it becomes intrinsic. Your DNA is now configured to dysfunction, right? Right? It's like a dog whistle. Your dog, it could hear a frequency that you can't hear, right? The permanent underclass cannot hear a different frequency unless it's rooted in gossip, unless it's rooted in drama, unless it's rooted in people going back and forth, right? Question: did they talk about this? Here's what they didn't talk about in 2022. The world of the permanent underclass is not even ready for the technology. There's gonna be certain cars that the haves have and the have-nots don't, where your car is a computer. What do you know about the Internet of Vehicles? Mm-hmm. Write it down, screenshot it. I know, right? I know. Here I go again, bringing some shit people never heard of. I know, right? And those blue checks are going to do what they've been doing. Come take my shit. Just know I know. Because y'all done ran out of words. Y'all belong to organizations with leaders, right? So y'all can't talk about certain things. I don't. I go wherever I want. I don't belong to the Nation of Islam. Shout out to Farrakhan, but that ain't my big homie. So I can go wherever I want to go. I don't got no leader. Come on now. This is your car. The same way that your iPhone is hooked up to systems, this is your car. We need to talk about this. How do you use this? The average person don't know how to use their iPhone. They only use it for social media. They only use it for texting and calling. That's a computer. What happens when this is your car, yo? In our generation, we seen the CD player just not even be there no more. Just like that. Do you know how to use your car? You don't even have to go into the office at this point. The car is the office. Customer support in your whip. What are we talking about? You know why this is scary? Because you got to thin out the population to introduce this. Appreciate you, fam. Shout out to the homie. Happy New Year, bro. To you too. To you and your fam. I missed that last part. You have to thin out the population to to introduce this technology. The people are behind. So what's the purpose of the people? If these corporations can't sell you this, then what purpose do you have? If you're not ready for the technology, then they have no purpose for you. So they're going to thin you out. This game is going on whether you like it or not. This is the internet of vehicles. This is your car. The cars will communicate with each other. You are going to see a more efficient driving experience. So there will be no more car crashes. Don't you think insurance companies are tired of paying out money for these deaths, accidental deaths? The cars are going to communicate with each other. What are we talking about? All this conversation about who gonna die alone, many of y'all gonna be alive dead because you aren't gonna be a part of the new world that you don't want to accept that is happening. Let me tell y'all something. Yo, remember the Jetsons? That's right now. You don't want to accept what your eyes are telling you. You're dealing with what's fair and what's right and what's wrong. One thing for sure, two things for certain. You can't stop technology. All this talk about who's an alpha. What does that even look like in a digital world? All this comparison to nature, right? Nature is about to be chipped up. The world that you remember, y'all, is over. The faster that you accept that, the faster you give your bloodline the ability to course correct. It's over. Black Wall Street don't matter. It happened. It's over. You are so behind. Your conversation is so primitive. Right? You are locked out of a real conversation. Ray Kurzweil, the futurist, talked about him before. He takes 100 supplements every single day, right? His job is to study trends and to predict the future. He takes 100 supplements. His name is Ray Kurzweil. Okay? Shout out to the Coin Gang fan giving ties for this wonderful live. All this talk about podcast genders ish. when we have a whole economy to worry about. Facts, Raven. Shout out to you. That's a fact. Right? His name is Ray Kurzweil. He's a futurist, right? And his job, right, is to predict the future. Okay? And the future that he's predicting, it don't include you. Have you ever seen those Mission to Mars movies of colonization of planets? Do you notice you're not there? Do you know there's really no futuristic movie? You need to think about this stuff, right? There's no futuristic movie where you're doing good. Do you remember the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake? Were you in there? The CIA is part of movie production, right? What is put in art happens. Tam Speak, appreciate your continued support, love. Thank you very much, my dear. That right there should trip you out, right? There's no futuristic movie where you're doing good. All the dystopian movies, you're always at the bottom. Why? Why? You can say, I don't believe that. That's just movies. My book of the day is The Occult Technology of Power. You don't have to believe it. It's happening. It's happening in your face, right? And in no movie in the future that I've seen are you doing well. You're always at the bottom. Ready Player One. Where were you? If you seen a you, where were you? Did you even see a you in Ready Player One? Were you? Was there any resemblance of you? Anything? Maybe I don't know. Can someone give me a movie that I could check out and write down where in the future you're good? I want to think about this for a second. Futuristic movies are the so-called blacks doing good? Divergent, Insurgent. Okay. Someone said The Matrix. I don't think so. I don't think so. Right? So the fact that we have to like really ponder on it, that's a problem. Right? So that means that's a forecast. That's a forecast. Right? So based on the forecast, 100, 200, 300, right? Years from now, those that call themselves Black Americans, you have no future. Let that sting. You have no future. The reason why is because the permanent underclass now, you're not being challenged in your conversations. Your talking is not changing. Your studying and your interests and your hobbies are not changing. Right? If it's breaking down, then what's coming up? So, Pete, fam. So, what's supposed to happen with this if the system is breaking down? Do not let no one fool you about no end of the world shit. Oh, everything is ending. No, it's not. No, it ain't. No, it's not. This system is modifying. It ain't breaking down. It's morphing into something else. It's not breaking down. What you're seeing, fam, is one age go into another age. It's not breaking down. That's demoralization. Don't let them trick you, because if you think it's breaking down, you won't prepare for it. It's not breaking down. If you was living in a farming society, you would have thought the world was breaking down when we went into the industrial age. If you use a rock as a weapon, you would have thought it was breaking down when we switched to gunpowder. If you use boats as travel, you would have thought it was breaking down when we started flying. It's not breaking down. It is changing. And the problem is the podcast of the permanent underclass is not guiding you into the change. They're having the wrong conversation. These people are concerned with being the real Jews and Hebrews. Identity, right? That's permanent underclass shit too, right? 2022 of people was focused on identity. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Why do you need, right, to see yourself 2,000 years ago? Why not see yourself 2,000 years from now? What is the thing with you and the past? Why do you need that? You need to ask yourself that. And as long as somebody can control that, you can be controlled. All they have to do is play with you and move the goalposts. And you will chase it down every street. No, I'm this. No, I'm Native American. No, I'm Hebrew. No. Why don't you just write your own ticket? You're here now, right? Why don't you just write your own ticket on who you are now? Why do you need the past so much? And when you find out that 500 years ago you was really something, what do you do with it? It just feels good now, right? You're able to debate, huh? Right? You're able to go back and forth with people now, right? Why do you need the past so much? You're not being written in none of the movies in the future. Do you understand? Do you understand what nuclear fusion is going to do to the world with them accessing a star? The power of a star. I think that's a type 1 or type 2 civilization based on Michikaku's research, right? The past. 2022 was a lot of the past. We're the real this and we're the real that. And y'all going back and forth, fighting with people, trying to prove the past. I don't care. Where am I going? I don't look to the past to see where I'm going. That's Pisces. That's mind control, fam. Each month you are arguing about something different. Who has control over that, right? Question though. This is your car. What you're going to begin to see with cars is augmented reality, right? So while you're in the car will impose data on the screen, okay? So you'll be able in the car to see based on the data that's on the screen. You'll be able to look at a man's jacket, know the brand, know the size, and how much it costs, and you'll be able to order it from your car. I don't care about who's the real damn Hebrew. You see the cars on the left? While you're driving, you'll be able to know all the information of those cars. And y'all fighting about what? Oh, the most high. The most high. That's demoralization. You keep waiting. Do you understand what you're looking at? Do you understand that you have to know how to use these? Because these will also be in glasses, right? So based on an augmented reality, y'all will be also to edit your reality. And editing your reality is when you have those glasses on, right? You can edit your reality to not see trash on the ground, right? Super sight. Super sight touches on this book, right? It's over there. Super sight touches on this book. I touched on this, right? You'll be able to edit your reality. Now, the gender war that y'all have going on with those glasses and augmented reality, if you don't want to see a black man or a black woman, you can edit your glasses to where the black man coming to you, he looks like an ice cream truck. Or the black woman coming to you, she looks like a pair of sneakers. What are we fighting for again? Appreciate you, fam. Shout out to you. You've been rocking with me, tough, holding me down. Shout out to you. All right. Did the podcast talk about this? Because not only do we have the internet of vehicles, we have the internet of food, artificial proteins, robotic food. This is the world, y'all. Personalized nutrition. So that means when you go to the doctors, it's not a one size fits all thing anymore. They don't just recommend the same things to everybody. No, it's personalized based off you. Artificial proteins, 3D printed food. This is happening. The permanent underclass will not be part of this world. And that's the scary thing. Because what happens to the permanent underclass? Where do you go? Right? Mmm. Tasty. Uh that's 3D printed. Digitized copy of food? Y'all think See, y'all playing. This is a good question though. Why are they making artificial food? Because we're artificial. We haven't been real humans for a long time, bro. I grew up eating TV dinners, microwaved food. Humans been gone. We are artificial. That's why they make artificial food, because we are artificial. We're not the original man and original woman. We've not been that for a very long time. That's why they make artificial food, because we're artificial, right? We are something else. Homo sapiens, 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 sapien. We are something else. I have metal in my knee from an injury, right? We are something else. That's why they're making artificial food, because we are human artificial, right? And the thing about food, as we transition with the internet of food and the robotics of food, we will enjoy our restaurants with our robot servers. Say bye bye to getting your Starbucks from a human. You know why this is important? Because a lot of this was an intro job for young people. So this is gone, right? We will have our restaurant experience through robotics, right? Did they talk about this on the podcast? Okay, question. Which one of these robots is the masculine one and which one of them is the feminine one? Hmm? Which one of these is the feminine one? Which one of these is the masculine? Because I'm sure, because after all that conversation about masculinity, we sure should be able to identify the masculine robot and the feminine robot, right? No, someone in the chat for real. Which one is the masculine one? Which one is the feminine one? So the one on top with the white, that's the masculine, right? And the one on the bottom, that's the feminine, right? You see how the conversations are silly, right? Silly. It's silly, right? It doesn't belong in the future. And that's why those having the conversation are part of the permanent underclass. And what do we learn about the permanent underclass? It is intrinsic dysfunctional behavior that's passed through the generations. Question. Did the podcast talk about this? Did the podcast talk about this? There used to be men working these jobs. There used to be men that were working these jobs. See, this ain't funny, right? All this talk about marriage and relationship and feminism, blah, blah, blah. No one talked about technology and how technology is changing the relationship between men and women. Like the elder told me, fam, everywhere you go, there you are. You can't avoid this. You can only delay it. This is our world. You can't avoid this. Nature is going to be automated. There's a great movie called Transcendence. We are going to have a chipped up world. That is the future of mankind. You can't stop it. You can only survive it. There is no wiggle room. There is nothing. Now, what you can do is create cultures, counter cultures, right? Cult like cultures of your own, right? But it's only going to delay the inevitable. The thing is to figure out how to use this stuff to your advantage and just accept that the world that we know, it had its time like every other world. You can't stop change. You can't stop technology. This used to be job for men. Where's the men? Hey, Charmaine. Appreciate you, love. Thank you, my dear. You could try, right? And off grid just means you're not going to live in the city, right? You're not going to live in the city, right? But you're still going to have an IP address. You're still going to be part of this world. We can't leave this world. So just going off grid, that means you're just not going to live in the mega cities, because how they're designing all the real estate, they're designing everything vertical, and all the apartment complexes have supermarkets and parks and basketball courts to the point where you don't have to leave the division. So off grid is just going to be you not being in a major city. But a drone can find you. You know what I mean? Right? So it's key that we figure out how to use this stuff. The problem is we're running from it. That's the problem, right? The problem is many of us are trying to hold on to this ideal of nature, right? AK, when you get a chance, I want you to look up a weapon called Bunker Buster. Look up something called Bunker Buster, right? They are weapons that penetrate concrete, right? So for people living underground, there's something that can get to you. It's called a bunker buster. The reason why I'm throwing this back to everybody is you can't run from technology. What is the thing? What about if I go off grid? What about if I go on a Why are y'all running from this shit? Y'all can't run from this. This is what it is. Lean into it. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Bio defense. I like that. Bio defense. Right? Nah, but for real, y'all. For real. Everybody is, What about if I go off grid? What about if I do this? Why? Why are we running? It is what it is. 10 jobs most likely to be automated. Watch repair, cargo and freight agents, tax preparers, accountant clerks, sewers, telemarketers, tax preparers. That's interesting. So imagining going to H&R Block and you sitting down with a tax person. Huh. This is the world, y'all. You couldn't run from the gun when they created the gun. You can't run from a nuclear weapon, right? You can't run from satellites. This is our world, right? Your children are not scared of this stuff. Why are you? The reason why many of you are, it's hard for you to lean into this is because of identity. Your identity is hooked up to the past. You don't know who you are in the future. So you're holding on to this reality that don't exist no more. What about if I live off grid? What about I ain't running from it. It is what it is. You can't stop technology, right? And the conversation today is so people have the right conversation to you. Y'all, I never tell no one who to follow. Only thing I'm saying is the permanent underclass is intrinsic dysfunctional behavior that's passed through the generations. Those conversations are permanent underclass behaviors, y'all. All for what though? What's the end game? You ever seen this movie called Elysium? If you really want to understand the permanent underclass, shout out to Miss Mary. Appreciate you, love. Sheba Dog saying, "Hey, you, greeting joyfully. Appreciate you." If you really want to understand the permanent underclass, watch the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, but definitely watch Elysium. What was Elysium about? What you are looking at is a colony right outside of the planet, right? Earth was a prison planet, nothing but workers. The colony had all the medical, the colony had the great quality of life. The colony was living a way different life than the people on the bottom, right? This is the permanent underclass. And again, y'all, in this movie, I did not see Black Americans doing well. If any, you were the workers stuck on earth. Pay attention to the movies, y'all. The permanent underclass, the conversation is designed for you. Take it or leave it. But when this live is over, I want you to think long and hard about a movie where you see Black people in mass doing good in the future. In the future. At this point, let me tell you something. guy interested in a woman, woman interested in a man, or whatever your dynamics is, y'all should only talk about one thing, right? What's your plan? Y'all should talk about skills and abilities. What can y'all do together to make your life better? Period. Point blank. It is not about a whole damn list. And y'all lists don't even got nothing to do with the future. 6 foot, 6-pack, this, oh, big butt. What? What? Shout out to you. The game that should be sold, not told. Salute to you. When y'all be on y'all, yo, it's so wild. All of the investment is on first dates. What restaurant you go to? What? What museum did you go to? So much focus on that first date, right? What museum did you go to? When y'all gonna have first date hikes? When y'all gonna have first dates based on where if you can measure a person's skills and ability? Have a first date at an obstacle course. Focused on food, restaurants. Your gauge to see if a person is compatible is restaurants. Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying. Because I don't want y'all to do this. You're not even meeting at Barnes and Noble. Your gauge to see if a person is compatible with you is a restaurant. If you don't spend $200 on this date, you don't deserve me. That's permanent underclass. Who the hell wants to spend $200 on a date? And we just met. I'm not going to find out what I need to know about you. Because at this point, what we're playing for, I need to know if you can bury me or not. On a first date, ask somebody, what's an algorithm? On a first date, ask somebody, what's fiat currency? On a first date, ask somebody, how does the blockchain work? The culture is focused on that first date about mating and or the restaurant. But this is the future though. Permanent underclass. I just showed you the internet of vehicles. Look, y'all. Vehicles communicating with each other. And our first dates are about what? Back to this. Show me the masculine and feminine robot. Which one? Permanent underclass conversations. On this list. What is on the... Show me something on this list that is on the podcast topics. This is 30 technologies of the next decade. This is Generation Alpha, Generation Beta. What are we talking about? And the only thing y'all can talk about is who's the real damn Jew? Who's the real Hebrew? What? one thing for sure, two things for certain. Go back to my videos 3 years ago. I've been right all along. My focus is to be historically right. I don't care about a talking point. Show me the stats. Show me the data. The only stats that matter is how many men have been removed from this automation. Y'all talking about dating stats. What are the stats from Youngstown, Ohio? What are the stats from around the country of cities that were once thriving that are now permanent underclass cities because the corporations have moved, because automation has took over the city? Shout out to you, my fair exchange, no robbery. I like that. Fair exchange, no robbery. That's one of the coin gang principles. People talking about the wrong stats. Y'all talking about the Morningham report right now? What? Hey, listen. This was once a position where a grandfather got his son in, right? Or a grandfather or a man got his son in, and then the grandfather got the grandson in. We talking about generations of men was able to retire from this, get pensions from this, feed a family off this. Do you see one human here? Huh. Talking about white supremacy. The supremacy right now is technological supremacy, algorithm supremacy. Y'all don't even know the war you're fighting. You're fighting a Pisces war. Man, that shit been changed. Oh, it's a war on men. It's a war on men. Man, that's your algorithm telling you that. Big tech is the winner. And the man and woman, y'all are fighting each other over talking points, but neither of y'all know what impression means. Neither one of y'all know what is click-through rate. Neither one of y'all know what organic traffic is. Neither one of you use the internet to make money. But y'all got the nerve to have a gender war when y'all get on the internet to be entertained. But you ain't made a dime off Instagram. You ain't made a dime off Facebook. So what do you know, bro? What do you know, sis? What do y'all know? Y'all here for entertainment while companies are mining all your damn information. How do you think they know what to sell you? What are cookies? But y'all got a gender war going on. Ha! I know. You know how much I made from Facebook last month on that damn gender war? Because I done figured it out. Oh, that's what y'all like? When I sign off the app, this is what I'm reading. The occult technology of power. Oh, but when I get on Facebook, I'm going to make y'all argue. Damn right. I'm going to make y'all go like this. That's what y'all into? I'm going to make some money off you. Corporations are saying the same thing. I'm going to make some money off you. Y'all don't want to read? Y'all don't want to study? Y'all don't want to put your head together for something bigger outside of having kids? Cool. We all going to milk you. We all going to make money off you. Me too. On my next How to Body Bag Bills for my members, Sunday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll show you how much money I made last month on Facebook off of 3-minute videos. Off the men calling me a simp. Oh, yeah, keep calling me that, bro. Yeah, I got thick skin. Keep calling me names. This video is monetized. Keep calling me names, sir. Please. I'll show you how much money I made off that. And if you're on Facebook, if you got a personal page now, you should be able to monetize your videos. People come and talk. Haha, you got a cock eye. You're this, you're that. And you know what I'm saying? Please keep talking about me. Please. Please keep dissing me. Right? On a monetized video. But you won't, you know what people won't ask me? Bro, are you making money off this? Permanent underclass. Oh, you're like Derek Jackson. Whatever you think. But this is what I read, right? I be telling people what I do. I read shit like this and then go do it on people. Occult Technology of Power. It's in the description on YouTube. Follow the link. Why? Right? Why would I do something diabolical like that? Because it's the permanent underclass. Everybody's making money off the permanent underclass. Y'all don't want to get your library cards and check out 16 books? Y'all don't want to watch certain documentaries? Y'all want to eat that? Y'all want to make like that? Cool. Cool. Be my guest. You know what my mindset is? Creating a culture like Coin Gang, and we do our own thing. Right? And we do our own thing. Because I have no desire to try to change what the world is. We create our own thing. Right? And the way that we do it is leaning into the technology. So this is the movie Elysium, right? Elysium is a good movie about the permanent underclass. Now this is how their world looks. Hey, ask yourself, why do they keep sending things up there? What are they doing? When Jeff Bezos was having missions or flights to go to so-called space, look at the people that he was taking. All millionaires. What were they doing? What were they going to see up there? I personally believe they've been working on a colony for a very, very long time. The Great Divide is here, y'all. It's here. You know how long they've been making these dystopian movies? Mad Max or The World Being Destroyed, Independence Day, right? They've been saying this for a long time. And what have we been doing? Playing around. Y'all talking about a masculine frame. What? Does Mark Zuckerberg have a masculine frame? Does Sergey and Larry Page have a masculine frame? What does that even mean? Did they talk about a masculine frame at the World Economic Forum? Do they even have those conversations as they're deciding the future of your kids and mine? Notice the podcast conversation does not happen at the World Economic Forum. What does a masculine frame, what does that have to do when they introduce carbon credits? Do y'all know what carbon credits are? Right? When you're going to be charged for the energy that you use? Oh, soft life. Baby girl. Soft life ain't going to get you here. Sorry. 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 You want a man to think for you? Right? And here's the ill shit what I learned about the soft life in 2022. It's all about buying shit. I got a purse. And me and my man took a vacation here. Do 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 do. I'm like, that's it? That's it? That's the soft life? No responsibilities? That's permanent underclass. You mean all them women in the past that put on did all that for you to do nothing? Cool. You gonna be right with that Negro. Ain't nothing cute about the soft life. Sorry, nothing. The world remembers productive humans. Sorry, love. Sorry. Purses did not even come up at the World Economic Forum. And there's very smart women that are talking at the World Economic Forum. What do you think they think of you? As these women are mathematicians, as these women know how to fence and ride horses and handle shotguns and understand economics. And they read books like The Wealth of Nations. Soft life. Okay. Permanent underclass. But it makes sense though. You can't have a lasting civilization without plenty of pleasant vices. The podcast, the soft life, Kevin Samuels, blah, blah, blah. Big Shirley, it's funny. It's all pleasant vices. Feels good. It's entertainment. It's funny. Right? It's funny. Right? Until the next video. And you go from video to video, comment section to comment section, dusties, trash bag dusties, the hair hatted hooligan, all that. All that. It's funny. It's funny. Right? Mm-hmm. Until the topic of net neutrality comes up again. Oh, what's net neutrality? Oh, nah. You find out what net neutrality is. One day when you try to sign online or you try to sign on to certain uh paid websites and you can't. where based on your zip code, you're only going to be allowed access to certain parts of the internet. Huh. Oh, it's all laughing jokes, right? When you realize you're part of the poverty side of the internet, where you can't access certain things because of your zip code. And when the topic of net neutrality came up, you didn't even know what it was, right? So you couldn't even vote on it. You couldn't even pay attention because you didn't know what it was. Because it didn't have to deal with drama and gossip and laughing and joking and calling people dusties and calling people broke and 50-50 relationships and the soft life. You can't have a lasting civilization without pl- plenty of pleasant vices. And when we do our 2022 recap for the podcast of the permanent underclass, it felt good. It was funny. Everybody got statistics. 51% of black men are single and in the middle class. Even though statistics can be manipulated and no one asks what ages, 20 to 29 or 18 to 70. Doesn't matter. This amount of women file for divorce. This is the most least desired woman. Men are getting their passports. For what? For women? This is the highest you can put your imagination to travel for a woman? You don't travel for knowledge? You don't travel for personal development? You go to these countries and you send videos back, not of you in the pyramids, not of you in the cave with the miners trying to get the tourmaline, trying to get the amethyst. You're not with the plugs. No. No. Ha ha, look at us. Look at how the waiter treats us. Ha ha. Where we getting cooperation? What? That's the permanent underclass, yo. When I travel, I'm looking for the plug on something. I'm looking to network. My brain is moving around. How can I get some of these American products? How can I get them here? You know them old Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z CDs? You know them old Ready to Die? You know that old Tupac stuff? Some of them people still using CD players. I'm trying to get some merchandise over here. I'm not thinking about no woman. And if I do find one, hey, introduce me to some people out here because I'm trying to build my global network. I want to be a global citizen so I can pass the Rolodex to my child and let him know I got peoples out the country. Pull up on them. And when my kid gets to the airport, they holding a sign with his name on it. What game are y'all playing out here? Your thinking is too little. Ain't nobody thinking about no die alone in 2030, 2040, 2050. We got global communities. It ain't about just being married. They have reduced y'all to that conversation. Marriage or bust. And if you ain't married, you ain't doing nothing. That's it. Do you know some people just getting married for tax incentives? Do you know some people just getting married so they can just pass each other stuff? You got friends marrying each other. You got women who ain't even part of that lifestyle marrying each other just so they can pass the shit to each other. That's it. Y'all having the wrong convo. And that's why when you look at all the futuristic movies, you're not there. I asked people, name me the movie where black people are doing good in the future. I'll wait. Why you think all the black films are about the past? That's scary, y'all. That there are cars being manufactured and produced that talk to each other, right? The problem is they have to thin y'all out because you ain't part of this market. You ain't ready for that technology. And that's sad. Because you say you're the pyramid builders. And you say you're the inventors of math and science. And you say you're the original technologists. But when it comes to technology now, when I put it on the screen, you want to go live off grid. You want to go run in the cave because you scared of technology. Cars communicating with each other. How far to be, the distance from each other, right? Can you speak about how people are scared calling this change? Look, people stuck on religion. They don't believe what their eyes are telling them, right? They are talking about something from 2,000 years ago and they're looking at now and they don't know what they're looking at. So they're the mark of the beast. They think something is going to come out the clouds and save them. The meek shall inherit the earth. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. And the only thing they did was they don't say God no more. They just say the universe. And they talk about it in the same way. It's personification. The universe wants. Man, how could a universe want? The universe wants me, right? Affirmations, religious affirmations to feel important, right? Question: do you have a domain name in your government name? Do you have a domain name in your government name? Do you have a domain name in your government name? Oh, definitely not talking about you, my love. I'm just speaking in general. Anytime I talk about this kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So definitely not. I'm not speaking about you. I'm talking in general because it's always it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Like the plan is always hope or run or we should go back to nature or we. It's always that. So I'm definitely not talking to you. I'm just talking in general because that always happens when I begin to chop it up about this. It's always off grid or something like that. It's never just to meet it head on and compete, right? And so what we have, y'all, is the de-evolution of mind and how people's oppression now is their own choice. If I go on my page and I say oppression where's the oppression? People start telling me about Rosewood. People start telling me about the past. but they won't look at their life and their own diet. They won't look at their interaction with their children or their mate. They won't look at the things that they watch with their personal choice. And now what you have is a de-evolution of the mind when the new world is all about mind. But what they keep talking to you is about body, right? It's about image, it's about look. So much investment is going into the look of a thing, but not the mind, not the mental, right? BBLs and Beijings and haircuts and the look of things. It's all about looks, but none of it is about the mind. But when you look at this, y'all, this is mind at play. When you looking at Elysium, this is mind. When you're looking at the 30 new technologies in the next decade, this is all mind. Automation, 3D printing, collaborative tech, right? 22 new touch interfaces, right? When you look at 22, this is touch screens, haptics, exoskeletons. Look at this. That's your new police and your new military. Look at 22, right? New touch interfaces, touch screens, haptics, 3D touch, paper feedback. Okay, they doing the most out here. Exoskeletons. What's that? What's that? That's an exoskeleton, right? These things are hooked up to your nervous system, right? You're able to download information from the into the exoskeleton into your nervous system. It moves as one. What's number 22? Screenshot this. Look at it, right? The haves are going to have the internet in their mind, right? The haves are going to have the internet in their mind. They're going to walk in the crib and the internet has come on, right? Look at these joints, man. Quantum computing, right? New screens. The screens are going to be projecting images out. You know what I'm saying? So instead of you watching the screen, watching the show from the screen is going to project the image to you, right? So you're going to feel like you're engaged in the movie, right? It's going to come out at you. But not for everybody, right? Because you can't have a lasting civilization without plenty of pleasant vices, right? Like what, Ken? I don't know. These podcasts, you know, would how much does a man need to make? Right? Then you go to another country and ask women stupid questions like, what's your preference? Do you like black men? Right? And when the nice, fine Columbiana says, I like black men, everyone is like, ooh, you feel good. y'all really feel good off shit like that. That shit is crazy to me. Right? When foreign women say they like you, right? Y'all really feel something from that. It's interesting, right? And you talk about your body count and what's too much and who's for the streets, right? And y'all really are missing an opportunity to share information with each other about what books a person is reading and what kind of success habits do they have. So much conversation about single mamas, right? But you never ask the single mom, right? How is she able to go to school, have a kid, and work at the same time? Whether you like her or not, there's something baked into her behavior that you can use. But you box her up and you label her and you discard her because she's a single mom. Or the man, he's a dusty, right? Because he doesn't make a 1% income at 25 years old, right? And you never get to know him. And he got some cool hobbies, though. Like he's a solid dude. But the only thing you care about is what kind of job does he have. You never even got to know what kind of human being he is, right? And he love animals, right? And he volunteers on the weekends. You know there's people like this, right? You don't care. See, the permanent underclass is not just about money. The permanent underclass is about taste. The permanent underclass is about energy and frequency. It's not just being a billionaire. Remember, it's about intrinsic dysfunctional behavior that is passed down through different generations. That's not just about money. Your attitude makes you the permanent underclass. Your taste make you the permanent underclass. Your intellect makes you the permanent underclass. The way you mate makes you a permanent underclass. What you eat makes you the permanent underclass. It's not just finances. The fact many of you can't even have a conversation with somebody without talking about how they look because you don't like the tone, right? And then y'all gotta, one thing about the permanent underclass, y'all deal with labels and boxes. So when someone is talking, right, you're listening and you hear a word, oh, simp, nope, you're a simp, right? You listen. You're pandering, right? You're listening. You're a narcissist, right? Right? You're listening. You have internalized misogyny, right? You label the person and then you box them, right? You can't just listen to what the person is saying and finish and talk when they're done, right? As you're listening, you're finding the box and the word to put them in. That's permanent underclass too. Because you don't even know what you're looking at. Someone says something you don't like, they're a misogynist, right? Someone says something you don't like, they're a narcissist. They are toxic. And what that does is, here's why we are artificial. Someone asked me, why are they selling us artificial food? Because we are artificial. When you label and you box each other, you take the humanity away from each other. It's no different than when someone calls a person a suspect. Automatically, their humanity is taken away from them. A terrorist, an insurgent, an alien. These words take the humanity away from the person. When you call someone a narcissist, you take the humanity away from them. When you call them misogynist or toxic, you take the humanity away from them. And words carry a software to it. So once you label somebody and then you box them in for the world, The world deals with the label and the box that you put them in. It does not deal with the humanity of the person. That's the permanent underclass. The permanent underclass lacks emotional maturity. You always have to name the person instead of listening. Let me show you how it goes in a conversation. You ready? I say something and you say, I agree or I disagree. Here's why. Wow, that just sounded so revolutionary, huh? All right. I say something. If you disagree, you say, I'm going to push back on that a little. Or I disagree. Here's why I disagree. Don't switch it and say, that's like saying, and deflect. Because now we're going to argue what you say that's like now. Right? Don't say, so are you saying, right? That's called distortion, right? Generalizations, deletion, and distortion. Distortion is I say something and you say, so are you saying? That's distortion. Deletion is, yo, I really love you, but I feel like your behavior lately has been this, that, and the third. Deletion is you deal with the attack. You feel like I'm attacking you, but you skip me saying that I love you. Generalization is me saying, I love America. And then you generalize it and say, but America's racist, but America's this. But generalizations, deletions, and distortions, right? These are just communication tactics or communication ways for us to communicate, because the permanent underclass is not just about money. It's about how we talk to each other. It's about how we engage with each other. It's about how we look at the world. And if you can't talk to each other, if your first thing is to call somebody a name or to attack someone's looks, the funny thing is, as much as you dudes like Kevin Samuels, shame, blame, and not shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right, y'all sure do that with men. I have more men talk about how I look than women. Because you disagree? And I'm going to leave off with this. I was talking to everybody, but I'm going to end here specifically. Black American male, you specifically, sir, if y'all don't change your trajectory, it's over for y'all. It's over. If you don't read different, if you don't eat different, if you don't change your public image, if you don't move a certain type of way, it's over for you. Black American male, you specifically, bro, it is not a good look for you, yo. It's only so far pipe can get you. And now every nationality of woman has had it from you. So now you ain't special now. Before it was mysterious, but every nationality of woman has had it. So it's not what it was before. And you're going to have to step your genius up. All the pranks, all the blaming women, all the dumb rap, right? When people see you, Black American male, You are always operating from here down. You never bring your intellect. It's always games and play. So what you look like to the world is you only do two things: breed and be violent. There is no middle, sir. And I'm telling you, moving forward, take it or leave it. You could call me any name you want in the book. That's fine. You are public enemy number one from your own behavior. And now you're going to other people's country and you are devaluing the price. You gotta get a hold of your image. You gotta get a hold of your approach. You play too much. You game too much. You're violent too much. Right? Get a hold of it ASAP. Right? Or the main participant in the permanent underclass is not going to be the women that you're in conflict with. It's going to be you. And this time, the whole world is going to decide that you're a problem. Because you are becoming a problem to everybody. You don't got to believe me. What do I know? I'm just a dude that focuses on historically being right. I done made money, lost it, and made it back again. I done took major losses in the game. You get the benefit from my losses. I sat with some of the realest people that ever walked this planet. You get the benefit from that. See, when I'm talking, man, I'm not one of these niggas, man, that didn't get it out the mud. I'm not freestyling. I'm not speculating. This is raw and authentic. This is the game that you apply ASAP and it change your life, and people see a difference in you. People say, wow, look at her. Wow, look at him. Man, whatever they doing, man, it must be working, because damn, they look better. Damn, they sound better. They moving better. Well, that ain't free. You got to pay for it just like I had to pay for it. Put the money on the wood. Respect the game. Respect my time.